Recognized upon. Welcome, mere mortal eyes, to another round of the monthly goals. It is indeed that time again where myself, Kyrin,
and Juan
on the other side get together and we go over our goals from the previous month. So that will be of January 2024. We look at what's coming up for February of 2024. We give you an update on our fitness, maybe even just like a little bits and bobs of perhaps other things happening in our lives that don't make it onto the regular shows. We are indeed here on the very last day of the month, the 31st of January.
31st.
We do these at 6:15 p.m. before our monthly goals on the like last Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, whatever suits us best. No need to preamble too much. Juan, how was your January 2024?
Well, and for people who are listening in as well, stay tuned for the middle portion because I'm going to give you some real world example of why I think monthly goal setting, position, this sort of thing has translated to general life so well. I think I've mentioned, but
sure.
I'll talk about it. Now, January, I had 6 goals. Very nice. 1 for the body, 3 for the mind, and 2 for soul. Finishing the powerlifting phase strong, aiming for that 10% increase. Now, I haven't finished it yet. There's still 2 more weeks left, so I couldn't possibly have finished it. However, I'm giving myself a no already for that one.
Oh,
I can tell I'm not going to hit. I'm not going to hit this 10% increase. Like, it's just not going to happen.
10%'s a lot.
Part of it, I thought, hey, maybe I'm not completely overemphasizing it. There was like 1 or 2 sessions where I didn't do the particular powerlifting session. I'll give you an example. This week on the Monday, I was supposed to do some heavy squats. Now, I did do it, but I was supposed to be hitting 100 and, I'll give you in percentages, 85% at 4 reps for 2 sets. And it was like I'd max 3 reps. I could feel it's like, it's not there. It's not going to get there. So I already kind of went, hey, I'm going to call that as a no. I don't know if I could improve on it. We'll see. Learning from me, I was saying is, yeah, if I really wanted that 10%, I probably had to like drop off a couple of things and specialize even more. So That's a reality. Continue to translating the Le Petit Prince, aim for 10 minutes daily. Motherfuckers, if I did 10 minutes this whole month, it'd be amazing.
Oh, wow.
There was no time for it. I deprioritized it heaps. I did do it. In fact, I'm dating every time that I'm doing it. So I had a rhythm going to it. I lost the pen that I was using because I was using 2-color tone. Kind of threw me off, what
kind of excuse is that?
It was an excuse. Then I did it I changed it up. I'm going to be fair with you guys right now. I believe I've read 5 pages. Okay. 5 pages. Not very much. This is a fat no. So I don't think February's going to have it either. It's a bit chaotic at the moment. But once I get into more of I'll reflect back on it. This is a long one. This is a very long one.
Yeah, no, so, those things take a while.
Conversations, baby. Me and Mortal Style absolutely did do this. And then I'm getting two conversations. The other one goes live this.
So you did do it? Or you
did? I did do it.
Okay.
So this was 2. Well, I aim to have 3. So I guess no, I didn't do it. I aim to have 3. I did 2. So this was one of those like shooting for the stars, landed in the moon type of deal. So no, let's say technically, no, I didn't do it. 3, but I did get 2, and they were enjoyable. The quality over quantity, being great at the communal things and phenomenal at specific things. Look, in general, I'm going to say yes, and this is in part to some of the conversations, some of the build stuff that we'll be doing around the house. It was focusing on quality, which I'll take. I did that quite a lot. And then 2 things in the soul. Putting into concrete evidence what investing for my little girl actually looks like. Solid, got that done. There was big conversation around that about what that looks like, what's the numbers, what is the need for. Always good to have precision on that. And then in the conversations this month, doing the heavy research, which I did around the exploration, but also not just beyond just the interviews. It was the conversations in general, day-to-day life, being a little bit more insightful, but informed, but allowing it to be curious. So I think I did that quite well as well. Little tentative tidbit here. I'm playing around this in the conversation. I think I might be able to pull it off at least for a little while, but we'll see how long this goes. I might make a commitment that for any future conversations I'm doing here in Brisbane, I might follow along on the path of a Cameron. You know who Cameron Haynes is? Cameron Haynes is.
Yeah.
So whenever people do Cameron Haynes podcasts, they train as well. So they do. It's a full day. It's a full day where they have to train, and they do archery, and they do the podcast.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try and do some sort of workout before the podcast.
What if they don't want to?
Well, and this is the thing. This is where I'm like, I'll have to be a little bit flexible depending on that. If they don't train at all, then okay. fine.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I'll be able to keep it. However, I can tell you that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the next people that I know I want to get onto the podcast, all of them train in different ways, running or powerlifting or strength lifting. So I think I can make it work for all
like
those 5.
Training in your own home gym sort of deal.
No, in like just normal everyday gyms. Now
that won't work. I bet you that won't work.
Yes, well,
too much logistics, man.
Yeah, maybe, and that's the thing. I'll have to think about it. However, I did like that thought, so I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah,
in the
okay.
world.
All right.
Anyway, that was a January goal. So look, in general, 3 out of 6 realistically. Just to give you an idea, though, folks, this particular month I had to get heavy on create. I retiled with 900 tiles of floor. Took out rugs, took out walls.
Did a whole bunch of other stuff.
So much other things. So, the priority wasn't there for some of these things. It just had to be prioritized. But it's reality of humidity in Brisbane.
Yep.
Okay, that's my Jan.
Cool.
What about you?
All right. So my January 2024 goals. So I was going to try being an asshole for a while. I would say I didn't really succeed at this, to be honest.
Like, you didn't do it, or it didn't work?
I kind of... No, I didn't.
You couldn't be an asshole.
Yeah, I'm just too nice.
Too nice.
Too much of an awesome guy. No, it was more like I did a couple of things. Like I said a couple of things where I would normally not say because I'd be like, oh, a bit tentative. That's a little bit rude. But I just honestly like I wasn't front of mind, so I wasn't actively trying to.
It isn't your natural style either.
Yeah, although I will say that I was less. How would you call it? Maybe like placating. Like I would not smile or laugh as much.
Right.
So tentative steps down the asshole
route. Yeah.
So I wanted to spend quality time with mum above all else. I think I did that pretty well. Went home quite a fair bit, looked after her a couple of nights, let my dad go away for like Australia Day, things like that. So I was pretty happy with that. This one I didn't do as well as I would have. I did like 1/20th of each of these.
Of the rest of them?
of the reaching out for the mere mortal combos, the value for value prep, and the setup live hosting was lowest on my priority list out of these. That's going to change for the next month. Use prehab devices, which included Juan's little one here, the gyro ball.
Pleasure. Have you noticed anything on the wrists or the forearms or anything with it?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I'd just do this. I'd use this on days where I wasn't training hands, like handstands or using my hands. So like on leg days, and it would just give me like a nice little burn. I'd use it for like 3 minutes or something. Cool. I've got my rice bucket out there, which I use as well. And then I was
if you actually just to pause, rice buckets. If people haven't. They don't know about this or they haven't tried it before, but it's basically just rice in a bucket.
It's a whole
and if you do it,
rice.
but basically if you just you put your hand in, you just kind of squeeze and open up and squeeze and open up.
You meant to like rotate, try single fingers, go like lateral. I think it's like what are the 6 different ways? There's like ulnar, radial. I should know this because I was doing this all the time. Flexion, extension, and 2 others.
It's pretty close. 4 out of 6.
Forgotten.
But it gets real. That shit gets real hard. Like it gets real hard. Like you can really feel the burn.
If you're going like aggressive.
You get. I remember doing it a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, man, my forearms are already like burning doing this.
It's more just like slightly uncomfortable for the wrists, and what also like I didn't wash the rice beforehand. I tried to once, and I just ended up with like moldy rice. But basically, every time you put your hand in there, you just come out with like a starchy hand. Yeah. So you gotta wash your hand afterwards as well.
It's the price you pay for some strong hands.
Tip number 1 there. Also backup food supply, so pretty good. So that was pretty good. Andreas Patreon and no backtracking on the purge. I'm gonna give myself a tick for this in the sense that I subscribed to his Patreon today, and
better late than ever.
I think I stayed away from the most part from like the kind of like crap that I was watching a month ago, which was like Coin Bureau clips and like it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, there's better ways to spend my time.
Yeah,
I was enjoying like getting a bit richer. It was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
This month it was like,
I don't know if
I'm glad I stayed away.
I don't know if that like it weirdly pseudo translated to me that goal in the sense that I can only go off the fact of usage of my phone, I guess. And my usage of my phone last month basically went down like 15% week on week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it went from, to give you some stats, I think it used to be 4 hours on the phone, and that's with like all the apps. down to maybe like 2 hours or something like that. Like it's quite light now in comparison.
Yeah, I used a lot less. I did watch more YouTube though, so I got down some pretty fun rabbit holes of like cave diving, Scrabble, mountain bike races. Like have you seen like mega avalanche? Mega avalanche. That's how it's like a combination of those two.
No.
And it's basically like a downhill race in Sweden with like or Switzerland. So think like snow, rocky pebbles, trails in like very dense kind of like foresty type things. And like these guys go hard. There's this one dude called Kyrin who I watched a lot, and it's like the simplest thing ever. GoPro on the head, him racing for half an hour. It's fucking fascinating, man. I loved it. It was so cool.
Wow.
It was just really, really fun to watch. So I got into that a little bit. So I replaced my purge with other stuff, which was more fun. Look at various travel options / limitations. I kind of did this, not probably as much as I was thinking. I have found out that in Brazil, they're introducing a visa
Are they really?
as of the 10th of April for tourists. If you go there before the 10th of April, you don't have to like get the visa.
Mate, that's
pay.
it. That's the date.
So I'm like, yeah.
You have to go beforehand.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. So I was looking up some flights today as well. And I'm pretty, we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, I didn't do as much kind of like prep as I thought I would. Focus on eye contact whilst talking. I did this more in the first 2 weeks and then kind of forgot about it, to be honest. And then this was what I was pretty happy with. 6 proper yoga sessions. I probably did 10, 12 maybe.
Okay, enjoying it at the new gym?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Really good.
It's really fun. I enjoy it.
Nice.
And I did not do that dance lesson. Brendan went away to Bali, so we didn't get like the chance to do it.
Fuck, man.
And I did my last 15 minutes of the 15 hours of Portuguese. So I got
Today.
15 hours.
Good.
So
killing it on the...
pretty good month in total. I was pretty happy with it.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot good done. Nice, very nice.
Very good, very good. All right, Juan, tell us about the transfer.
I'll tell you this, and we'll talk about the overall. Did you do a summary of the bootstrams as well?
Not as of yet. Like there was still some coming in today, so I was like, I won't do it so much. It'll probably be similar to last month, I think. Maybe a slight tick up. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy to talk about in the support. I'll save it for the next musings.
Okay.
Check out the episode after this, people.
Okay.
Your mind's gonna get blown.
Woohoo! All right. The call out was, so what I found myself doing now a lot. So on the side, I do advise company. I do my normal day-to-day work. And in a lot of this spaces, I've actually found that I keep getting into conversations which it's me just really pressing for precision, for detail, for goals, for dates, for timing. And it was actually today in a meeting early this morning where it was going to get an hour and a half, and it was me kind of inquiring, getting these details, writing it down. And we're talking about a monthly goal for the next month for this particular company. And I went, man, this is just exactly what I've been doing for so many months and years now. Just exploring it in a different entity, which is a company. And again, the details, you can be more precise and you can put dates and you can be specifics. But I mean, for people at home, if you don't do monthly goal setting, I mean, we've been doing it for ages and talking about it here.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be, we're talking obviously about personal life and whatnot. But I also feel if you do it long enough for yourself, it kind of extrapolates and you can do it almost anywhere. Like that it's really like a skill set to be able to get quite precise with time frame about doing something. And not overshooting it or undershooting it, and just being like, yeah, I'm quite right. Like you can kind of like gut say, yeah, I could do 15 hours rather than saying, I'm going to do 60 hours. Okay, well, that takes a hell of a lot of effort and it's going to take away from a lot of other things that you want to do. So I found it to be, I don't know. So something hit me today where I went, you know what? There's like an actual like proper skill set to be able to goal set more correctly to what you're doing, what's influencing you, what's the North Star, what should you be focusing on, not focusing on. So I went, recognize it, folks. So it's a skill set to have.
Yeah, write a book about it, and you'll do well.
There's probably a bazillion books out there about that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like there's a lot of kind of
there's a lot of stuff about that. So
any decent self-help book will have something about
some detail about goals for sure. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, let's look at the February goals.
Yeah. Let's do it, man.
All right.
Give me yours. Hit me up.
February 2024. I'm going back. I'm scaling it back. 5.
Yeah, I know.
5 goals.
Check out for those who are watching on the screen of what I've written for the
image.
Because it's not flattering to Juan.
Flattering.
It's not flattering to Juan. What did I actually say here? I said only 5 goals. Juan must be getting slack. Look at all the room I have here to talk smack. Unbelievable.
Put it at the bottom. Now the notes, as I always put notes for the month. I've got strong beginnings to 2024, but I've got to hammer out some renovations. Now, doesn't kind of fall too distinctly here, although I'll call it out number 4. But so 5, as I mentioned, 2 body, 2 mind, 1 for soul. 1, I'm going to attempt to run a living proof challenge. Now, this maps up.
Hell is that?
Exactly. So I listened to a podcast just recently. Now, I should have done my homework here and told you who the person actually was who's doing this, but he was on the Rich Roll podcast talking about living proof challenge.
I'll look it up quickly.
It's like a recent podcast. He's an Australian guy. Now, in short, I've had a goal, and I've talked about it, where I want to just get things more so from a health perspective noted down, about blood work, about weight, about percentages. We talked about body composition and that not too long ago here on the podcast. Now, just fortuitously, this came up in a conversation. I don't know if you've been able to find
Simon Hill.
Simon Hill. There you go. Yeah, that sounds right. So Simon Hill with Rich Roll on the Rich Roll podcast, and they were talking about this living proof challenge, which actually begins in February. Now, I don't want to partake in it, but they had a big conversation around the 10, 12, whatever it was, points that you can kind of measure for a living proof. And then I guess their perspective is for 12 weeks or however long the process is, they give you, hey, train like this, eat like this, sleep like this. So then, at the end of it, you recheck and, hey, your metrics are going better. Cool, whatever. But I actually thought to myself, hey, here's kind of like an already measured out guide of, hey, go and check out these 12 common data points, or data points that you should be looking at from a living proof, or just check in that your health is going well.
Okay.
So I was going, okay, hey, they've kind of done the homework here for me. I don't have to go and do all this research that I was probably planning on doing. What I'm going to do is
how detailed are these check-in things? Like, what are you measuring?
Some of those basically you do a DEXA scan or something equivalent to get a body composition. Some of the others are actual blood work, so you actually get some statistics.
So you're doing a bit of effort.
Yeah, there's VO2 testing as well, which you can do like a full laboratory, or you can just do it by like a beep test kind of deal.
Sure.
So there's a few things like that, which I went, cool. But that's kind of what I was after.
Yep.
I'm glad someone's created something like that. So Simon Hill, thank you. Living Proof Challenge, if you want to go do it. We're not sponsored by them. Although if you send money to our PayPal, Kyrin's going to get wet. Second one, bring in some standard templates, eating into my life. Now, I did mention this one from Manuel Goals. I hadn't even looked at it. I went, okay, I might do this in February. Man, my eating's been shocking.
He needs it. Before the podcast starts, he calls up the girlfriend and is like, hey, order some Uber Eats. Noodles, people.
Noodles.
The
Give me some
greasiest
noodles.
stuff you can imagine.
It's been wild, my eating schedule at the moment. Either I'm under-eating, overeating, eating like crazy crap. It's just been wild. So I was going to put some templates in.
I saw him eating pizza on Saturday.
Correct. A whole pizza. Plus.
I ate some as well.
Anyways, so that one's how I plan to do that. Pretty easy. Just there's days I'm in an office, there's days I'm not in the office, and there's weekends. I was going to go, hey, I just want to be able to, like, even more just general, be like, hey, I'm just going to eat like 2 or 3 times a day. Not, do I eat 5 times? Do I eat 7 times? Just fuck it. 2, cool, you eat. Yeah. Awesome. Leave it at that.
And you'll like meal prep and stuff?
Yeah, because I used to meal prep all the time. Now I haven't been. I meal prepped in like this whole year. I haven't meal prepped. Like it's just been. I just cook it
last month, you mean, or year?
Yes, sorry, last month.
Yeah.
So 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't meal prepped at all.
Yeah.
It just hasn't even come into the mindset. So that's what happens when you have little baby folks. Get ready for that if you don't have that. 2 for the mind. So this was a cool one. I'm looking forward to this one. So I dropped off in the drawing. But one of these is I want to do a drawing a week with my little girl. So what that looks like, again, similar thing. It's me drawing, taking some time out, but now trying to inject my little girl into it. So she's not at the age, folks, where she's going to be like pen and paper, but she's been doing some painting, hand painting.
Yeah.
But what I might do is just get my piece of paper out, do some drawing. She'll for sure just come over and just palm it, do whatever. But I might try and give her the pen and just let her like draw out and just do that once a week.
Do one of those ones where she draws a scribble and then have to
create
turn
something
it
from
into
it. That would be a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Have you? Because your yearly goal was to draw every week, right? Did you do that last month?
No. No,
they ain't.
absolutely not. However, I will in like totality do more than 52.
Okay.
So I guess I'll average it out and do it. Because there's been some days some weeks where I did like 3 times in a week.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it will get there overall.
Okay.
It's just, it definitely dropped off last month.
Does it count if you do like 3 or 5 in one set? Like if you get to the end.
Oh, no, it won't count. If I go like, I'm going to do 7 drawings in one day.
Yeah, if you get to July and
no, it won't. That won't count. Fourth one here. I want to fix up the podcast room for the full use at the new room. Now, man, this is taking some time. It's taking a lot of time. We're almost there. I think I've got a couple of hours left on the floor.
You don't want one as your handyman. That's what I've learnt.
But just to list you out the things that are remaining still on here. So just very quickly, there is protection, grouting, another protection. I'm going to get panels for the room as well to go around. There's some artwork around the room as well as going to go. I have a camera, like an old school camera light set up as well now, like this big metallic cone thing. So just got to set it up. Put all the podcast stuff back into it, table, whatever else, and actually just plug it all in so it can be used without wiring everywhere.
Plug
so
and play.
It's not too much stuff there. Tentatively throw up a TV on the wall and connect it through to usage as well. But we're almost there. But man, just that flooring took a long time. So
I'm hoping biggest boons to me this last month was I got this little USB port thing here, which enables me to connect four different things. I never realized it's one of those ones where it's like it's not that hard to like unplug a thing and then plug it back in, like
but it's worth its weight in gold.
Oh my god, man, I can't believe how easy it is now. When you come, I just like I just I plug one thing in and it's like everything's set up and ready to go. Basically, it's just like, oh wow, this actually makes a difference.
And I'm really wanting to set this up as early as possible in February for 2 reasons. One, obviously, to do conversations, which I want to get into, which hopefully is one at the end of February. But 2, I have so much content pieces that I want to create. It's just waiting for me to be able to have the room and space. At the moment where I'm sitting right now, it's just, you might have seen it on some of the backgrounds of the online. It's just, it gets hot in there. It's not easy to do a lot of things, but I've got 2 books that I still have got. Like I've got 2 books behind to do book reviews and the quotations on.
He's got 3 content to film.
Oh man, I got so much. So anyway, so hopefully, I'm not going to promise February is going to be that stuff's going to come out, but I hope to put it in March. It'd be like
maybe even good for April because I'll be having a break for sure.
Well, there you go. That might be a good thing to start saving some of those book reviews and stuff like that. There you go.
Yeah, totally.
And the last one here, I want to do one thing a week that not only scared me, but I simply do not want to do within Rational Legion.
Yeah, okay.
Now, this is interesting. Andrew Huberman had a conversation with David Goggins recently.
Sure.
Now, this is the first time I've ever heard this. I don't remember the detail, so I'm not going to replicate it. Go listen to that interview, like the first half of it, if you want to be like see more of the detail on it. But Andrew was talking about there's something relatively recent that has come out that shows that part of your kind of like your discipline or your hard effort to doing something is strengthened when the part in your brain actually strengthens when you do something that is hard that you don't want to do. Like genuinely. Now that doesn't mean that you enjoy, like it's a hard thing, but you enjoy to do it. It's when you do something that's you don't enjoy, but you do it anyways. That does strengthen that. Yeah, some people are saying like it's a disciplined part of your mind or something like that. Again, can't remember the details. However, it maps up to one of my annual goals where I went, hey, I like that. I like that mentality of how I'll try do something a week, which I say scares me, but it's just something I'll go, man, I really don't want to do this. Like I really don't want to do this, not for a rational reason, just purely because I'm like, I'm pussying out. I'm anxious.
One's going to give blood.
So it might be that, right? Well, if it should coincide, it should coincide with.
You'll faint. It won't be good.
But it'll be, I don't know. We'll see I'm looking to see what comes up on a week-to-week basis. There'll be plenty. I'm sure there's plenty of things where I go, I don't want to do it. Today it happened. So today would have been prime. If it was February, this would have been a prime thing. Afternoon run. I'm dressed in running gear because I do my running club. I went down there and I was like, I don't want to run today. I'm walking. Like I'm tired. My knees hurt. I've got more work to do. Excuses. Just walked. Now I walked, whatever, K and a half with some people, and just went back to the office and came here. But if it was February, that's the thing. I've got to be like, No, you got to do it now. Like if I go in my mind,
you'd
like,
enjoy doing that. That's the problem.
No, I don't. No, because I don't enjoy running. I don't enjoy running. I do enjoy the feeling afterwards. So maybe I don't know if it fits it in. Anyway, I'll report back. I'll list out the 4 things that I do if I do them, and we'll get the mere mortals, the mere mortalites to judge me whether that's enough.
What do you at home think about that? I don't think that's something Juan's scared of.
Tell me. Yeah, probably most fitness things won't be a thing, but we'll see how it progresses.
That's pretty fun.
Anyways, those are the February 2024
beautiful
goals.
Thank you for sharing. All right, so mine, I'm gonna try out a puppy superpower, and this is something I'll have to discuss offline with Juan. I've promised some friends I'll tell the story, but basically like the puppy superpower of like puppies, girls coming up to you, that sort of thing. I want to try that out. Basically, I just want to take Butters for a walk somewhere,
sure,
and take the time to do that because I mean, like I'm looking after him half the time, so I might as well learn how to look after him properly. Maybe even teach him a trick or two.
Yep, good.
And I've just written here like more gym assertiveness. So just being a bit more assertive in the gym, not aggressive, but just assertive. Yeah. So
not default aggressive, default assertive.
Yeah. So I want to do that. Want to organize at least 2 chill times with the whole family. So I did spend a lot of time with mum last month, but there was a couple of times where it was kind of like work. Like I went there to like look after her, or we were actually doing work at the house, cleaning things up, doing all this sort of stuff. And so I want to try and organize it with brother, mum, and dad to basically like just hang out, not need to do anything. So definitely want to do that. Prioritize the value for value prep and set up the live hosting. Those extra like mere mortal conversations, they're still happening. They're kind of natural at this point. It's just one of those ones where it's like there's a couple of people I kind of want to reach out to where it'll feel like work, because it'll be like this person has no idea who I am. There's no previous connection. It's going to be a cold approach. You know, how am I going to do it? What's all that sort of thing.
Sure.
Those ones I'm kind of just iffy delaying them, to be honest.
Okay.
So, but yeah, definitely the V for V prep, set up live hosting. I need to get the Value for Value podcast started this next month. Like, I need to do that. Okay. I need to get in the groove. So do that. More one-on handstand research for the new workouts, because basically I've upped it to two of those a week now, which is a good step forward. Last time I was doing that was about this time last year, so that'll be good.
Nice.
Get back in. Just a bit more research need for those, how to do it smartly. Clean out and then cancel Andreas's Patreon, so actually watch everything in there and then stop it. Last time I delayed, and I think I ended up paying for Patreon for 2 months or maybe 3 months. I don't want to do that again. Okay. Fuck Patreon. Nah, it's all right. I just don't want to. So I want to try and like get it all done in 1 month. Finalize some bookings and sort out accommodation for the first 2 weeks of my trip. So basically, I'm like 95% certain at this point. I will obviously be 100%. Well, 100-ish% certain once I book things. But yeah, I was doing a little bit of research, and beforehand, I was only looking at flights into Sao Paulo. So, because that's like kind of close to where I know I definitely need to get there. And then there was another short flight, hour and a half from Sao Paulo into Londrina, where my friend Lucas is. Really want to catch up with him. And I was like, I had a quick look, and I'm like, those flights run all the time. Like, just focus on the Sao Paulo one. Right. Today, I did the things to actually find out that connecting flight, and it's like 8-hour layover in Sao Paulo. Ooh. And I was just like, fuck this, man. If I'm doing 8 hours, like I'll have a play around, see if I can find a way to avoid that. Yeah. But if I'm doing 8 hours, I might as well just go into the city for a couple of days, check out Sao Paulo.
Sure. Okay. So I didn't realize it was such a gigantic layover.
Yeah, man, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because especially, I think it's an hour and 15 flight from Sao Paulo to Londrina. So, whatever.
Damn. Okay.
So that'll change a couple of things, because then I'll be like, all right, well, if I fly in, I need to make sure I'm in Londrina before his birthday. Where am I going to stay? Like, accommodation bookings.
All that initial logistics that you got to set up.
Pretty much, yeah. So figure that stuff out. Okay. Want to listen as intently as possible. I was the book I'm reading at the moment, which is The Winter of Our Discontent by John Steinbeck. I'm doing 2 Steinbeck books in a row, people. And one of the characters, the main character in there, he's Ethan. He was talking about how people don't really listen to each other. Like they're waiting for their turn to speak, or even if they're in like a full committed like he's, got his wife, and they just communicate on such different wavelengths where he's like, she doesn't really listen to me, I don't really listen to her. It's not really a good thing nor a bad thing in the way he's saying it, but I was just going, you know what, I could probably make do with trying to listen to people a bit deeper. Kind of as much effort as I put into listening to you here, try and apply that
broadly everywhere.
Yeah, so just imagine there's microphones and everything. Everything's a podcast, man. All right, the last one is I want to try 4 new classes. So I've got into this rhythm of doing like yin yoga, some bar classes, some stretching classes. I want to go outside my comfort zone, do some aerial yoga, do some abs, buns, and guns, maybe do a cycling class.
Right.
So
and do it all at this new place that you go.
Oh man, there's so many different things.
Crazy, that's cool. Yeah.
Bring it up on my app so you
Variety
can have a little look see if you want. But yeah, there's I would say there's probably 15 to 20 different classes, and I've done some of them. So
just
give that one a look out. That dance lesson, I will try and do that dance lesson. I will try and make that happen with Brendan. And then 14 hours of Portuguese, so roughly half an hour each day. But once again, it'll kind of be like that is now deprioritized. So if I get half of that done, I'll kind of be happy. I had my own little moments this last month of just extra stuff. The podcast guru video, for example, that probably took an extra, 5 hours, and I'm not really done with it yet. I still need to do a little bit more
Jeez, okay. That took a lot more hours
for them. Yeah, man, just recording, editing, thinking about how I wanted to do it. Yeah,
sure.
Those sorts of things take a while. So even though it was like an 8-minute video, takes a while. And yeah, so but other than that, that's all my goals there for this coming month. Yeah.
Man,
beauty.
I'm keen to hear how you're thinking about doing the dog mode utilization to attract.
Well, basically the plan is to take Butters out to a South Bank on like a evening where there'll just be tons of people around and just to see what happens.
Yeah.
My brother,
well, I will say,
my brother did it once, and he said it was a unique experience in his life.
Yeah,
just completely
whatever that unique experience. Triple it with a baby. So
yeah, you reckon?
There has been, maybe this is a big call out, but I don't think there's been a single time I haven't been approached when I've had my baby just walking along or going somewhere. It's a variety of people, right?
Yeah.
So it's a variety of people, but they'll come up to you and be like, baby, so cute, go to him, blah, 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 blah. They'll chat to you. Almost faultlessly every time.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
He's got a cute puppy, so we'll
gotta put it to the
I don't know if
test.
there's a way we can measure, cute puppy versus cute baby, who wins. Maybe
we've got to do it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go walk.
I'll bring Butters, and we'll
There you go, baby versus dog. We'll see who wins.
Yeah, nice. All right, the last thing to chat about is the fitness. So just how was your fitness for this last month?
Broadly, obviously I was talking about the lifting, the heavy lifting. In general, it's going well. I did my threshold for strength in the more higher rep domains has gotten better. So the absolute strength hasn't. But for reps, it's been really good. Like, I've just been on really, really strong at higher weights for logs to reps. That's been good. I've been playing around with one-handed handstands.
Nice. On the wall?
I fell for 2 seconds.
Okay.
No. It's been like mucking around, being like, I'll end it a couple of weeks where I'll do some handstands, and I'll end the session by holding the handstand and just holding it to the one hand, like basically just putting it to the side and holding it.
Nice.
The best I held it for like 2 seconds. So I was hoping it was going to be for longer, but yeah.
Look, I
fall too quick.
You have an option to do it. I've met people with really bad form who can do one arms like this, and they're holding a one arm handstand. There's no doubt. Looks ugly as fuck, but
they can hold it.
But they can do it, and they're generally like big bulky dudes like yourself. So
yeah, it's just usually just muscling it as opposed to anything else.
Straight up muscling it. Yeah.
So anyway, that's been going really well. But overall, I've been still pushing the Mayhem program. So it's essentially I had a free month, and I'm probably going to continue it because it's been really good. It's taken 80% of my thinking process out of training. It's enjoyable for the most part. Yeah, I sprinkle it with my own stuff here and there, but for the most part, that's kind of like what I've been wanting my training to be. Just a bit of a mix up of things. You can, like you say, it's just like an app, gives you the training. It's roughly for what I want, and then I just shift it from a week to week perspective. So it's been good. I'd recommend it. Nice. I've tried quite a few programs now, just for like freebies and stuff like that. I've been enjoying the Mayhem program. It's been pretty good.
All right. How does someone find that if they want?
Honestly, they just type in Mayhem training program.
Okay, cool.
I think they've got 20 different programs, but you basically you pay for two versions: the like lower end version or the like full version. Yeah. Full version's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, my month was like chaos, man. If I, my ratings of all my goals and goals, how the session actually went.
Yeah.
It was probably like under a 7 out of 10 for the 4 weeks. I couldn't.
You had some terrible days, I remember.
There was some really bad days. So what I learned from this month, one, I was basically like, if you see the screen now, you see all the goals and things I wanted to tick off. If I was just really strong, I would have basically cleared this entire sheet, I think, because I was doing everything. Gotcha. I was trying to do, so I had 6 days a week planned. I was doing 1 planche / stoled a day, tick stuff off there. 1 press day, tick stuff on that, like L-sit to press, things like that. 1 one-arm handstand day, 1 calisthenic / handstand push-up day, 1 like split, as in like over splits, front splits, side splits training day, and then 1 like hip flexor, wrist, forearm prep day. It was absolute chaos. It was not helpful because I was doing, my body was probably like, Kyrin, I get that you want to do these 30 different exercises, but you kind of need to pick one of them to get good at, because I can't handle all this shit.
All of this, yeah.
So what I ended up doing was like the calisthenics handstand push-up day was just starting to niggle my elbow, so I'm like, fuck it, get rid of that. So I ended up doing like 5 days a week, and then the handstand, the press day, my wrists are still really fucked. Like they're better, but when I'm going into like full extension, like weight much more distributed over, like center of gravity is still above the wrist, obviously, but legs are out, far out one side, upper torso is one out the other. It really hurts, man. It hurts. Yeah, it really hurts. Charlie, my roommate, she had a very similar problem. We've actually switched problems. She's starting to get some tendonitis, so that's what happens. She's almost 30. That's what happens. And she had the same problem I had, and her solution was to like tough up, man up, push through the pain, and it'll come good. So
until it doesn't.
That's what I need to do. Until it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, actually, interestingly enough, so of the 900 tiles, I probably laid, like I pushed down about 400, 500 of them myself. And the next day, because I was just using my right hand the whole time. Oh, yeah. My wrist was so sore for 2 days. I was like, whoa. So I can imagine, the repetitiveness of just that push through the wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that like overall, I'm really happy. Like my body's feeling pretty good. This next month, I'm much more focused. It's going to be one-arm handstands. It's going to be planche / stalder, and like some leg stuff.
There you go, Kyrin, planche by the end of February. What was the time for our 1 kilometer rowing that we wanted to get? Can you remember? Was it 3 minutes something?
3:13, and then 500 was 1:26, and then 250 meter row was 40 seconds.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, so at the moment my rowing's been pretty heavy. There's been a lot of good volume, and I'm getting a lot better from efficiency perspective. I still don't think I could get the 500 meter time of the 1:26 pace, but I'm close.
I would have
pretty close.
I mean, I wasn't too far off the 3:13. I'm pretty sure I got like 3. I was only like 7 seconds off or 8 seconds.
Well, I was just thinking this morning,
and I'd barely trained for that. Like,
this morning I did 3Ks, just under 12 minutes. Yeah, but that was with fast and slow. So I don't know.
You should give it a shot. Try the 1K again.
Yeah, I think maybe the 1K. We'll see.
Do it. Cool.
Do it.
All right, very good. We'll leave it there. We've got a musing session right after this, so stay tuned for that. If you're listening to the audio afterwards, obviously they'll be coming out at slightly different times, but enjoy, nevertheless. Juan's got a conversation coming up. I released one with Nick Molster recently. So, yeah, if you haven't checked out those, go to them. They're pretty fun. Send in a boost. Support the Mere Mortals Value for Value podcast. We really appreciate your support, and give you a call out on the end of month, or you'll see if you get high enough, you'll see your name in the chapter art of the middle section of this one. It's not, we don't really call it Boostergram launch, whatever it is. Cool. All right, we'll end it there.
Thank you very much, everybody. Mere Mortal Lights. Thank you for tuning in. One out.
Kyrin out. Bye.
Good.